Welcome to Math 6.2. The learning target is to find the value of expressions using order of operations. This is very important. If you don't follow this rule, this order of operations, you will not get the correct answer. There is a system. Math has an order and a system, and you have to follow this way. Okay? Now, expressions, you have two different kinds of expressions. One is a numerical expression. Numerical expression just means that you have numbers put together, you're adding, subtracting, using exponents, somehow putting numbers together to get an answer, okay? All of these four things right here, these are numerical expressions. To find the value, to find the answer, we need to use the order of operations. The other type of expression is called an algebraic expression, which we'll be getting to a little bit later. So these are all numerical, they're all numbers, and we have to use this order of operations. Here it is, it's PEMDAS. I'm sure you've heard it before. You probably did a lot with this in 5th grade, maybe some in 4th, maybe even some in 3rd, okay? Now that we've done the exponents, this E is important. We can do this now, okay? So, I break it up into 4 parts. I kind of go like this, 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 okay? The first thing you do is P. That kind of sounds funny. But the P of PEMDAS is the first thing. P stands for parenthesis. So anytime you come to a problem, you first look for parenthesis. Are there any parentheses anywhere? And if there are, you do what's in there. You got to solve that first, and then you can move on. Okay, once you've done all the parentheses, then you go to E. E is exponents. Any number that has an exponent, you have to do it right away. Find the value, plug it in. Okay? Once you've done the P and the E, then number 3 is multiplication and division. And it doesn't matter, you don't have to do all the multiplication first and all the division second. It's multiplication and division left to right. So you could come, as you start left to right, it's like reading a book. As you start over here in the problem, if you get to, say you get to a division first, you do it. Okay? And then you can do a multiplication and then division. But you got to go left to right. Okay? Now, once you've done all the multiplication and division left to right, then the 4th thing is A and S, addition and subtraction. Again, you start from the left and go right. Doesn't matter if it's adding or subtracting, you do from left to right. That's important. This right here is really important. Okay? So I got 4 problems on the board, and I'd like to do them. And I want to show you how you could make a mistake on it, and how you can get the correct answer. Okay? So I come to here. I have a numerical expression, 10 plus 2 times 15. Now, maybe I see this 2 times 15. I want to do that first. So that's 30. 10 plus 30 equals 40. Okay, so I'm going to say maybe a possible answer is 40. I'll put that up here, okay? That's how I did it easy, because I know 2 times 15 is easier than 10 plus 2 times 15. But that's just me looking at it and trying to do the easiest thing. Math isn't always about the easiest thing. You have to follow a system. Now, my system might have told me to do exactly what I did, but let's see. Parentheses. Any parentheses? Nope. Exponents. Any exponents? No. Okay, now multiplication and division first. So I look over here, that's addition. This right here is multiplication. So 2 times 15 is 30. Then I bring everything else down. Okay. So I've done all the multiplication and division. I like to drop things down. It makes it easy for me. Then I'm done with this. Now I go to add and subtract. There's only an adding. 10 plus 30 equals 40. So actually, the way I looked at it, my easy way, was the way that it needed to be done, but I followed the order of operation, okay? If I would have gone just regular, 10 plus 2, if I would have just gone across, 10 plus 2 is 12 times 15. Well, 12 times 15, whew, that's going to give me way more than 400. I know that 10 times 10 is 100, so it's going to be way over 100. That would have got me really a wrong answer, okay? But following the order of operations, we can get the correct answer. Let's go down here. All right. So, parentheses, no. Exponents, no. Multiplication and division, yes. I'm going to go left to right. I don't have to do the multiplication first. And in fact, if I did the multiplication first, it'd be a wrong answer. But I'm just going to go left to right. So 16 divided by 2, that gets me 8. Bring down everything else. 8 times 4 is 32. Okay, so 16 divided by 2 times 4 is 32. That's the correct answer following the order of operations. Say I would have done 2 times 4 first. Made that 8. 16 divided by 8 equals 2. Not following the order of operations, I get 2. Following the correct way and the order of operations, I get 32. Much different. It's a totally different answer. This is not correct. Okay? Follow this. Maybe right now as you're watching this video, you want to take a piece of paper out and make little notes. Parentheses, number 1. Exponents, number 2. Number 3 is multiplication, division, left to right. Okay, doing all of the multiplication and division, division, multiplication, doesn't matter which one comes first, you go left to right. And then the 4th step is add, subtract, left to right. Doesn't matter if subtracting, adding, whatever it is, left to right. Okay, all right, let's do a couple more. Now these are fun because they have the parentheses and the exponents. So I come to this, 25 times 5 minus 2 divided by 5 minus 12. Lots of things going on in this problem. But I break it down and I keep it simple. The first thing is parentheses. Parentheses. I see I have the parentheses here. So I'm going to do that. 5 minus 2 is 3. Then I just bring everything else down exactly like it is. Okay. Parentheses, done. Exponents. Do I have any exponents? No. Okay, so I'm done. Now multiplication and division left to right. So here I have a multiplication. Let's see, 25 times 3 is 75. Then I bring everything else down. Okay. Now, I'm still in multiplication and division. I have a division here. Okay. 75 divided by 5, 15. And then I bring everything else down. Okay. Now, I have no more multiplication or division, so now I go to that last step, which is add and subtract. I have one subtraction and no adding. I'm starting left to right. 15 minus 12 is 3. So my answer is 3. And I did that following very strict rules. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, adding and subtracting. Okay? Now, let's do this last one. This one's great. It has parentheses, it has exponents, it has multiplication, or no multiplication. It has addition, division. It's got all sorts of things. So, almost looks a little overwhelming, except when you follow the steps of operation, or the order of operation. Order number 1, parentheses. I look at these parentheses, and I have to do everything in there first. It's like this is my only problem right now. Once I get in the parentheses, then I follow my order of operation. So, I'm into the parentheses, so the next thing I do is exponents in here first. I see that 2 to the 3rd is an exponent. So remember, 2 to the third is 2 times 2 times 2. And that is 4 times 2, and that is 8. Okay? 2 to the third is 8. So, I'm going to do 24 divided by, this is 8 plus 4 equals. Okay? So I did a little bit in the parentheses, but I'm not done with the parentheses. I got to finish that before I move on. 8 plus 4 is 12. Okay, now I'm done with the parentheses. I bring everything else down. Okay. Now, I move from parentheses to exponents. Is there any other exponents in there? Nope. Now I go to multiplication, division. There is a division. I start here, go this way. 24 divided by 12 equals 2. And that's all I have left. So, this problem right here, after we follow the order of operations, will get you the answer of 2. Okay? Really important. Parentheses, exponents. Multiplication and division, left to right. Addition and subtraction, left to right. And you're going to need to follow this system. You should write this down. This is so important. When I do problems, I chunk it. I do little bits at a time and then pull everything down. You might see a big, long problem. This one's kind of longer here. You might see it has like 4 lines to it because it helps me to stay focused. Get a piece of scratch paper. I want to see this work. I want to see you as you take little bits at a time. Because if you're missing it, then I can see, oh, you didn't do this step or you didn't do that. So get scratch paper if you need it or do it in your book. But I want to see how the orders are done, how you're doing this step by step. Okay? It's a lot of work. And you think, oh, I don't need to do all that. I can do that in my head. But even myself, who's been doing math for a long time, when I start to do some of this, I do it quick in my head. And maybe I miss a step. Maybe I do one thing out of order. It's so much better if you can take your time and follow the steps and write it out step by step, and then you get the right answer. Isn't it great to get the right answer one time than having to do it 4 or 5 different times? You're going to save time by going slower. That's an interesting thing. Save time by going slower, and the reason why is because you won't make as many mistakes. The more mistakes you make, the longer it takes. You're going to have to do these sheets over and over. So take your time, follow the steps, and you'll be good to go. All right, watch the guided practice. I'll show you some more ways of how I break down the problems step by step, and then you're going to do the independent practice and extra practice.